Good morning, this is Nigel at Spiritual Awareness New Zealand. Hey, I'm getting that down too. It is the Sunday the 16th, 15th of January at 8:45 a.m. and so far we're surviving pretty well from the the full moon of January 13th, 12th, 13th. Anyway, here we go. So I know that at least some people, I get some pretty nasty comments, but at least some people seem to like my videos, so I'm keeping to do them. And this is kind of interesting. This one, I want to show you something on this, and I'll show you here for a starter. This is the visual satellite images. For 7 a.m. that's about all I can get because it starts only at 6. But let's have a look at it for yesterday. I'll just go through and you can see that there's just cloud soup all over New Zealand. It's just really cloudy and stuff, right? Now I'm going to explain what's going on with that. And there is a bit of weather modification. We can see, you can see these angles here. That's not natural, and so you've got that. There's EMF here as well being done. Now we all know about what happened in Christchurch with the real heavy clouds there, and remember, keep in mind that this weather modification is very much a global thing. It's being coordinated as a global activity. So the cloud that we're getting here, and I'm going to show you in a moment, is actually coming from Australia, and it's being pumped over here, basically manipulated and controlled to come over New Zealand. And apparently we have been paying our little weather modification dues or whatever to get our little dose of weather modification, and so we get it all carefully pumped over here as part of an ongoing program. At least that is what is appearing. Now, if we look at this here, this is at 7 a.m. and we have these two or three little gaps, or this one and this one particularly, that are, in the entire picture, we only see those little gaps there in this main stream of cloud. Right, yeah, sure, there's a big clear gap over here and so forth, but that's because there's this is the main stream of cloud here, and I'll show you that in a sec, as I say. But this is weather modification, without a doubt, as well. So what they're doing with that, again, I'm uncertain, but let's have a look at this, because this will explain what I'm trying to tell you and show you. And that is here. Just takes a little bit to load. Here we go. All right. So in the summer, even last year, just this has been ongoing. We see these streams of cloud, and they try to actually bring them over and keep them pumping over New Zealand. Now, this one here is very spread out at the moment. But what they try to do is from, and this is just my observations, but is to try to keep that cloud pumping over New Zealand for as much as they can milk it. So and apparently that is for solar management, for keeping the sun off New Zealand, and that might be true. Probably one of the biggest things that I resent about it is that we're not being told what is happening. And I don't believe that they have that right to take office and then think that they know better what we should not know about than, it's like we are the employers as people. We are the taxpayers, and the government is there to serve us, is how it's supposed to be. Of course, it's not like that, and hasn't been like that for a long time. So, now, you can see with this stream, and I'll follow it through, and you'll see how it actually moves up through the country. So this is yesterday, Saturday, at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4, 5, and you see it's starting to move up 8, 9, and then this is 2 a.m. and you can see this stream is very, very thin here now, but it's still managing to disperse around New Zealand. And there's a big circle there so it's being, but this normally that will just go straight through, but it's actually like something's being done to it here to actually push it around and keep it swirling around here so that it presents more cloud cover for New Zealand. That's what is happening, and you see now it's actually moving up, and so at 8 a.m. this morning it is mainly centered over central New Zealand, and it'll move back up through here. So what we're seeing in Hawke's Bay right now is some real heavy cloud, which will be the same kind of cloud that was being pumped over that Christchurch got to see at sunset last night. And now it's up here and it's showing up in the sky as real kind of heavy looking clouds. And that is part of this whole parcel that was sent over of the latest cloud from Australia. Now what they have done to that cloud, who knows, it's probably been pumped somewhere, earlier, like somewhere over the Tasman, with chemtrails and so forth, chemicalized, and with probably barium, strontium, aluminium, and so forth, to create these real heavy clouds. Now one of the properties, I think it is of barium, is oh god, what's that word, desiccant or something like that, but anyway, it holds the water, it absorbs and so forth, so what you're going to get is these real heavy fluffy kind of or real heavy kind of clouds that have a lot of moisture in them but don't necessarily drop it. Anyway, that's what we've got. So I think this is primarily a reflective, solar management thing. It's not particularly been done for the rain, but anyway, there we go. So that's what we're looking at. And during the summer months when it's real dry, we see these one after the other coming over from Australia in almost the exact same pattern every year, one after the other. So once this one is through, there'll be another lot come through, and it'll start down here, and then they'll push it up, and it'll waft off, and then there'll be another one. That's how they were actually doing it. Now you could say, oh, that's natural and so forth. Certain proportion of it, obviously there is a flow of cloud and so forth, but as you can see with this, it's very directed here, and for this to be just chance to just happen to, this cloud over here to just happen to come down in a thin line to New Zealand and then happen to go from south to north, no, I don't buy that. Look at the cloud up over here. It's very, very it's very widespread and so forth. It doesn't come in, there's no lines here, are there? Why would it suddenly take on a line across the Tasman like that? So we could have a quick look at this one. Just this Australian infrared. I haven't looked at this. It shows you even more clearly there. Look at that. Very, very. You can see that very, very straight line here. And think of the mileage of how many miles that is of straight line, and I've seen that sometimes even go right down the bottom as a straight line. It's like we're looking at huge distances, a couple of thousand k's here. Okay, well that's I guess that's it for the weather modification update for our page. Signs of earthquakes, well, there hasn't been anything yet, and hopefully that's a good thing, you know. But anyway, we always be prepared and so forth. It's an ongoing thing. Okay, so that's all for now. This is Nigel at Spiritual Awareness New Zealand, checking out.